Yeah. Numero UNO, me and Drizzy like the Super Bowl, man. Then it big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
What's up everybody, welcome back to another Warframe video. Today we'll be going over our Warframe guides. I kind of been going down the list starting with Ash, I believe, and then we just been going down. So if you're curious on what's the next Warframe, just check the Warframe list and see who's next. I believe the next one we're covering is Citron. So if you guys want to stick around and check out that Steel Path video, I'll be uploading that one next. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome to the squad. Be sure to subscribe so you can be updated, and also just check out any of my latest videos. Like Chroma is specifically like he's like a boss. I would say I would use him for boss missions. He's good for Profit Taker, for Eidolons. Well-balanced Warframe in terms of survivability and dishing out damage, and he also can help the players deal a lot of damage too when you're close by him. Chroma means colors in Greek, so it's cool because he does utilize 4 different elements. That's why his blueprint might be one of the more trickier ones to craft out of the Warframes we have. Because Chroma means color, it means that based off of the energy that you choose for this Warframe, you could proc a certain elemental boost, and I'll explain later. But so we check out, he has his first ability called Spectral Screen. He has 4 different like fire breathing abilities he can cycle through, each doing a different elemental proc. So electricity, gas, cold, and heat. If you click it, you can alternate between the 4. Then we have Elemental Ward, which would take advantage of whichever element you selected. If you choose heat, you'll get a health bonus. If you choose electricity, you get the damage multiplier. Toxin, holster damage, and then cold, the armor. And then we have Vex Armor. Vex Armor is another ability you'll utilize to where you need to get hit in order to proc this. So if your shields get hit, you will grow higher armor, and then if your health gets hit, then you'll get a higher damage increase for your weapons. Then we have his 4th ability, Effigy. He unleashes his armor, which turns into like a dragon, and the dragon can increase how much credits you get. It can also strip armors from the enemy, and then it can be a good distraction as well as deal some elemental damage to them. So in terms of Chroma being overpowered, I would say he's overpowered because there's 3 different categories that I always cover. 1 being that they're overpowered by just having broken abilities. 2 being that their abilities somehow enhances their weapons, so it makes their weapons stronger. And then 3, they have enemy manipulation, so they can somehow alternate or alter the battlefield in some way, or the enemy in some way, to increase your survivability. That one is also kind of weapon based, but it is, you'll see why there's a difference. Chroma will kind of fall between being weapon based as well as having a certain build. There's a certain build that you can make Chroma to where he can be under the enemy manipulation category as well, and that requires you to have unlocked the Hemless system. You can gain this area on your ship after completing Deimos, and then you can craft the blueprint to have this included when you speak to Father on Deimos. Once you have the Hemless feature, you can apply Breach Surge. So this one requires you to sacrifice a Wisp Warframe, and then I also recommend you sacrificing a Zaku so you can get the Zata's Whisper. That would be 2 abilities that I would place on Chroma as well. If you don't have those abilities, I also have a build that covers Chroma with his natural abilities, so don't worry, he's just as strong. Now you guys know a lot about Chroma, but now you're probably wondering, where can you get him? Chroma's blueprint can be unlocked once you have completed the once Once you have completed the new Strange, you'll be given his blueprint, and then to unlock his other part blueprints, you're going to need to have complete several junctions across the star chart. Also, if you don't have the new Strange quest, you have to get to Europa, which is over here. So you must journey across halfway to the star chart to Europa. You'll unlock the new quest. You go to your codex, you start your quest, then you need to complete the Saturn junction, and then you'll get the neuroptics, and then you need to complete the Uranus junction to unlock the chassis, and then the Neptune junction to unlock the systems. Now it's not over there, because once you have collected all his blueprints, each blueprint has like a Warframe part because of the elements that I told you he can switch between. You're going to have to go to several other locations to get those parts. So for Volt's neuroptics, you're going to need to go to a dojo. If you don't have a dojo, you can always join a dojo. And in the Tenno lab, you can purchase the Volt neuroptics blueprint for just credits. After that, you need the Ember neuroptics, and after these future locations are all boss locations, just so you know, in case you want to keep farming him. So for Ember, you need to go to Saturn and fight the boss on Tethys, which is right here. It has a 38% drop chance. Then for Frost chassis, you need to go to Ceres and fight the boss on Exta. Also 38% drop chance, mostly 39 if you round it. And then finally you have Sedna, which can you have to go to Mero and do this boss fight. And this one has the lowest at 22% drop chance for Saturn systems. So I will make guides covering how to beat these bosses soon after this video uploads, so don't worry. But that's where you'll go. Once you have crafted all those pieces, you come back and boom, you do have to wait. But here, just so you guys can have an accurate representation, this is Chroma, the dragon that we've been talking about. Yeah, he does have a new look if you do cast your 4th ability, because the armor's off of him and is flying like a dragon. So if you collected Chroma and you want to know about his Super Saiyan form, we got Chroma Prime. So Chroma Prime is probably more easier to farm. The thing is, he's a Prime, so he's on rotation. So sometimes they vault him where you can't get him, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll have events like Prime Resurgence where you can get certain Warframes. I don't know who's in rotation right now, but always be on the lookout for this. But another way to check out which relics you need to find those Chroma Prime parts is you go to the codex, you go to the relics, you search up Chroma. It's going to filter out all the relics that you can farm, and if you click on it, they would tell you the locations. But if there's no locations, it's because the relic is vaulted. So right now you would have to trade and ask for these relics on the trade chat, and you want to put them in brackets just like this on the trade chat and put WTB for want to buy, and you want to type it just like that. And if you want to like try to like dip your finger in the market, you can throw out your own price, be like 35p. But now we're on Chroma. You have his parts, you build him. Now you're probably wondering, how can I make him OP? So let's go over to the builds. Right now I have the first form of the build, which takes full advantage of his damage. I got rid of Vex armor and switched it with Zata's Whisper. You can then, if you go with this, I would say switch your element to electricity. You will get the damage multiplier at 29% paired with this extra damage at 75%. We also have Mo augmented for the arcane, so you can get ability, strength, and arcane energized for just making sure we have energy. You can tell that from my builds, I don't really rely on red crystals for the archons. I do have archon shards on Chroma, which is a feature you get later on, but I only have them to just give me energy and health and orbs. Yeah, so there's not really a need for damage. If you were wanting to do more damage than what my build is doing, then you can just add more, different color shards. This would be weapon based, because all of this relies on your weaponry. Then for my second build, I have, you want to max out in strength and duration for this one. For the next build, we have, this is where he kind of dips into enemy manipulation, because the breach surge does distract the enemies. Like the enemies that are hit by this aren't fighting you, so it also increases your survivability. So you want to have semi good strength, you want to at least have decent range, and then duration, you want to make this high. Yeah, if you use a Zaw weapon, this is where it's going to come in clutch. So this build doesn't require a Zaw weapon, but it would be more better if you had one. And then for the final one, we have this is where it's more inclined or more in tune to his regular loadout. I didn't really change anything except the last one. I took away the dragon, but I switched it with Empower, which gives you a 50% ability strength on your next attack. So you'll do this, you'll cast Elemental Ward, and then you'll do this again, and then cast Vex Armor, and you'll be basically pulling the max potential of his abilities out, which should be just as equal to the damage you're dealing with Zata's Whisper. But going back to this build, because there is no button to switch between your elements, it's extremely important that you make sure that your chroma colors are in line to get the certain elemental proc that you need. So you don't need the first ability for any of these builds if you just switch his energy colors. If you want the heat proc, make sure you use red, brown, orange, or yellow. If you want the electricity proc, just use blue or purple. If you want the toxin proc, use green, teal, or like a dark yellow. If you want the cold proc, you can use white, gray, black. You see the builds. Let me know how you guys like them. Also, if you did try them out and they're not as good, let me know what I can do to make it better. I can make this build do crazy amount of damage, but it's kind of like, I don't know. You gotta do a little bit of setup. I do have the Grimoire where you can increase more ability strength, so it's stuff like that. But earlier I mentioned having a Zaw weapon, because if you see on this, I don't have any Riven mods for this weapon. I just gonna proc it for electricity so I can pull off melee influence. This kind of spreads status effect to a lot of enemies. You get this arcane later on when you're in the late game in Albert's lab. But then you have Exodia Contagion, which throws out like a melee projectile. This is also equivalent to using a glaive. So if you don't have a Zaw, I would recommend a glaive. And that's it. That's what we'll be doing. I can run the Soma Prime. Chroma kind of can make any weapon, at least he can't make them overpowered, but he can make them stronger for sure. So I'm taking this Incarnate Soma, and then we're gonna go ahead and show you what he can do. Due to time, I can't showcase all of these builds working, but I can promise you that they work. I would say the most unique one I should do, because this kind of closely resembles regular Chroma, is I'll take the Empower build. And then I like going to Mont Survivals because it's the best way to, like, put Chroma in his element. I recorded this video like 3 times also. Just so you guys know, this, for some reason I had like my capture card was full. I didn't know it was also saving files on there, and I had no space. So what you want to do is switch to the heat element, cast Empower, go boom, then cast Empower again, and then Vex Armor. Dang it, I forgot to talk about this, but there is an operator clan that I would highly recommend you choosing. Madurai is nice. Having your operator be strong is a good feeling, but there is another operator clan that can give you more utility in combat. So if you see me using this Zaw, imagine me throwing the glaive, and you'll get the similar results. Even if you just don't like throwing weapons and you want to go in their melee, this build will also work for that. I'm like a glaive type of person, so
Life support on the way.
But you can see that, Empower. Alright, and then we just easily reset just like that. So I think I'm using the Zenuric. If I set the wrong clan, I'm so sorry, but you guys know which one I'm talking about. It's the energy one. On my operator, I do have a arcane set to where if I void dash, you see them get tethered up like that. After I beat this mission, I'll show you guys my operator build.
Activating it will
And then another feature for the Generic clan is that you can make energy. So right here, I'm getting my energy back. Having your melee weapon out is good for this build because not only do you have more health to deal with, you have a chance for you to block bullets, while your weapon's out. Needed some cinematic movement in that one. Oh yeah, and then another ability that you can utilize with this operator clan is the slow-mo. So you can go invisible, you can, I don't know what it's called, but it's under the same clan. You can, I think it's called like something wave, and it slows down the enemies. This can all help increase your survivability with Chroma. That's why I recommend the glaive, because it requires you to be less upfront. You can still take bullets. As you can see, I'm still getting hit, but I mean, you're more likely to be in better positions of like not getting hit if you're not as close to the enemies. You don't die because you're going to keep recasting the heat proc. If you wanted to do more damage and just risk it, or if you're not surviving as good enough, just switch to the cold proc and try that one out. You are going to still get a damage multiplier too, so don't worry. If anything, let's do it right now, but I'll switch to cold. Gotta reload, of course. I've incarnate form, we can go ahead and involve that. Actually, we can save it for your boy.
What's next?
What the fuck? Wait. But we killed him. So, alright. So by the time you're done with the star chart, you're probably going to be something. You're going to be introduced to the railjack, and the railjack is like the bigger ship. But as you unlock your railjack, you can unlock a feature under command, I believe, where you can have one of your crewmates on your ship. You can like summon them in combat. So just like how resonator serves as a distraction to enemies, you can throw out your crewmate, and they can be served as like a distraction. Even when your tenant sisters and your Kuvalich joins in the mission to help you out, that can be like a breather for you because they are distracting the enemies. But that is Chroma. And then the Generic clan, so we did choose the right one. That's the clan I would recommend. Under, you have energy pulse, you have temporal drag. This is the slow motion ability. You have wellspring, which increases your ability strength. And you have I believe under my it should be Magus anomaly. Transference. Enemies within 20 meters are pulled towards the Warframe. So utilizing these are going to be very important, because Warframe and operator teamwork is going to be utilized a lot when you're in Still Path. So let me know how you guys like the build. That'll be it for today's video. If you guys are new, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But like always, you guys be safe, keep up the grind, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.